But Johnny, let's move on into our final topic, and we're going into a little bit of gaming news.
Yes.
The Video Game Awards were this past Thursday, and one of the things that was revealed, the way it was revealed was great. There's an anniversary trailer for Mega Man, but then there's also the Mega Man 11 trailer. We're going to talk about Mega Man 11, but how they did it overall with the anniversary trailer. They kind of go through all the renditions of Mega Man and like the years that they came out.
Yeah.
And then at the last one, it's like he's scrolling through a Mega Man level, and then they get to 2018, and you're like, wait, that's next year. That means, and then they send you into, boom, Mega Man 11's world.
Nice.
We've watched the trailer. If you have not watched the trailer, I'm going to leave the trailer to, you know what, screw it. I'll leave it both to the anniversary if you want to see the full thing, or just the Mega Man trailer down below in the description, so you can go ahead and watch it. Come back, see what we're talking about. I'm going to ask you this. What are your first reactions? I know that you're not a huge Mega Man guy. You know the side-scroller thing. I love Mega Man X.
Yes.
That was my jam. Like, when how old I am at 27, like, I had an NES, but the NES games that I had were Duck Hunt, a Ninja Turtle game, and Galaga. Those were the three. Like, I was more, okay, I kind of have this, and then, boom, Sega. And it was like, yes, this is the first system that I latched to and made it my own. What are your first thoughts and reactions, though, to the Mega Man 11 trailer?
Well, we looked at it, and I thought it looked great. It's the Mega Man that I like you said, I want really a Mega. I'm not really a Mega Man guy. I know of Mega Man. I know his gameplay.
Jump and shoot man.
Jump and shoot man. Mega Man. Those things are called Hammer Joe.
Shut up! I know that.
Yeah, but it's a side scroller like I always know. Like I know of Mega Man being. It looks like Mega Man that I like what I know of Mega Man looking like. And it's kind of cool what they showed of like these your suit like, and you pointed it out. There's like the suits, and you get extra add-ons to the suit, or
so
changes
like,
the suit, but it changes some of your power too.
So like, let's say you get a different blaster that does something different. His whole suit will change. Yeah. It won't just be the blue suit with a weird gun on it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's kind of cool that's going to change that up, but it's like the suit, in a sense, changes your power and vice versa. So that's kind of a cool concept, changing up. And I mean, sticking with the side-scroller, but making him like a little bit more 3D-ish instead of the 2D is nice, because the world... That means you're side-scrolling, but it's not like just flat like our original Mario game we probably have all played at some point.
The one thing that I was going to mention, and this is, it's bothered some, but I actually kind of like it, is the art style of the game.
No, I do too.
I think that, like, it's them being different, because I kind of, I think back to, yet again, I'm going to mention Dave and the podcast. When Dave and I were talking about The Flash on one of our Twitch streams, and he was saying how he didn't like it because of this, that, and this, and the other. There was Spock, who was in our Twitch stream. He even said, like, oh, God forbid they do something different with the character. Like, that's what I think of. That's what I think of here. Like, yeah, the animation style is different. I've heard some people say that they don't like how, especially, like, the villains look too Cupheady, is what I've seen it displayed as. But there's part of me that goes, oh, God forbid they do something different with the game. Like, one of the levels we see, it looks like the blaster is basically, here's huge bricks that I'm going to bring down on stuff. And you have to either do that to destroy enemies or destroy obstacles that are in your way.
Exactly.
But then when you get to the final boss or the mid-boss, I will say the art style looks a little Cuphead-like, and there could be some places where it's like, okay, the level design compared to what the boss looks like, it takes a little bit of adjusting with the eye at first. Yeah. But after your eye adjusts, you're like, okay, I think this looks awesome, and I think that it's a new take on the Mega Man that we all know and love.
And I'm going to put it this way. Who cares if it's a little bit Cupheady? That's super popular right now. I mean, I don't know how many people I've heard that love that game.
Love the art. Love it because of the art style.
Yeah, the art style, exactly. It's got that old Mickey Mouse style to a game, which was great to implement. So who cares if it's a little bit like that? Because A, it's so popular. B, it's not like you're stealing it.
No.
You're just kind of applying a little bit of that to a classic game.
I'm gonna say it this way. It's kind of like music.
Yeah.
Music forever. Like, even think back to, like, and I'm going to date myself here because I'm a music nerd and a music major also in college. It's kind of like even go back to, like, the Baroque period, go back to the Romantic style, go back to the classical era. Someone would do something, someone would hear it and go, hey, I'm going to implement that.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe for, like, a measure or two. Boom, there you go. I used a similar thing that so-and-so did because I heard it and liked what he was doing, so I'm gonna borrow that. Put it into my bag of tricks.
Here's a loose example on a little bit more modern version of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Under Pressure.
Under Pressure. Dun, 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 dun.
And
you
who
also
borrowed
have,
that? Ice
Vanilla
Baby.
Ice. Vanilla Ice. Then that was one
Borrow
where,
the bass line.
Remember, it's different. One is dun 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 dun. Where theirs is dun 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 dun. See that extra dun?
Wow.
That extra dun. It makes
huge difference.
Completely different. It's a new rhythm now. It's a new rhythm now, Johnny.
Anyways, and so we took out a note and put a rest in there.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry. No, but I mean that's an example. I mean you're just taking something that you liked, implementing it for something else. It doesn't matter. I mean, just kind of. I mean, like you said, God forbid they make a change of some sort to the whatever. So I mean, I like how it looks. I like the aspect of it, and like you said, I'm not really a Mega Man guy. So I may not myself go out and get this, but if you got it, I'm definitely going to play it with you. If that's going to happen,
getting it.
I figured that.
I am buying it for sure. Like as soon as I saw PlayStation 4, I'm like, I'm getting it. I've got to get it, and like that's the thing I like also. Where yes, it's like I believe that like Mega Man, Nintendo property, but they're cross-platforming. Yeah. Not just on the Switch. It'll be on the PlayStation 4. It'll be on the Xbox. Now the thing that I think PC. The thing that I think will be awesome for Switch players is they're kind of going to get the full experience of it because Mega Man not just an NES property, but was also a Game Boy property as well.
That's true.
I mean, I wonder if people on the Switch will now take it and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to take my screen out and play it handheld style because although this is a bigger screen, it reminds me of like when I used to play Mega Man on the Game Boy.
Why not? I would.
If
I was in that scenario, I would definitely start playing it handheld.
Instead of just plugging it in. Do you see any negatives in this though? Is there anything that you looked at where you're like, I'm not a huge fan of that?
Well, I mean, again, I'm not a big Mega Man guy, so it was never my game because I never really grew up with Mega Man. I never had a Sega. That was the game.
Mega Man X was, and I knew it was going to come up at some point out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Mega Man X was my jam.
Yes.
That was my absolute jam. Like, that is the perfect Mega Man game to me.
But it was Sega, right? That Mega Man was mainly Sega at the time?
No, that was, I had it on NES.
Okay.
Or Super NES.
Because I had NES, and that was the first one the NES was the only game I owned. The only one we had that worked on it was Duck Hunt. And then next system I finally got was N64.
Okay. Yeah, Mega Man X I had it on Super Nintendo. I love that game. That game was probably my biggest jam. And that one, the platforms that it was on was Super NES, PlayStation 2, GameCube. You could get it on computer and then PlayStation Portable later.
Yeah, I feel like I was too far into my gaming to I would play Mega Man if someone was like, hey, let's play Mega Man, but I never would go out of my way and do it.
My big one was, that was my introduction into Mega Man. And that was like the first one I played. Loved that game. Loved it. Played hours of it. It was, my Super NES games were Mega Man X, Turtles in Time. I remember Dave, my friend Sean, my friend Nick would come over. We'd all have us four playing. And it would be, we're playing Turtles. Yeah. Or it's like the two of us and, okay, we died, throw them back.
Yeah.
And it's like you have the two on the side scroller thing also. Also had a Power Ranger game on Super NES. It was the same thing where it's like side scroller, you can go up and down on the floor.
Yeah.
Fighting putties. And then when your power meter got all the way, more morphin' time, and then you morph into the Power Ranger. And
I
it's kind
remember
of like
that.
extra power. Remember that one, but then when I was older, Dave let me borrow a game that his brother had that was basically this was way older. This was like Game Boy Advance or Game Boy 3DS where they went to the thin chips.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a 3DS game where it had all the Mega Mans on it, like the old Mega Man. So I was able to play Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2, and kind of be like, oh, so this is what I was missing out on. Because I was like, Mega Man X came out in 93. That was right in our, like, we were 3 years old. By 4 or 5, boom, I'm into gaming now.
Yeah.
I'm into gaming. 4 or 5, then 6, 7, boom. I'm full on blown. I'm a gamer, which back then, I mean, as a kid, we never called ourselves gamers.
No.
Now we do.
Not then. No.
But that was really it. And I saw this trailer for Mega Man 11, and I was like, although I wasn't like I played every Mega Man, I love Mega Man, I like Mega Man, and I like the games. I saw this, and I'm like, I'm getting it. I'm getting it for sure. It looks cool. I like the art style, even though it doesn't look a little Cuphead-like. Yeah, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
I like the Cuphead style. I like what they brought to the table with that.
Exactly.
And how we can, I'm going to take that and use that here. I also am intrigued for the different weapons thing because different
definitely.
levels, getting different weapons, then having to learn how to use them and how to progress in that level kind of adds not a difficulty, but a different kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
You have to
different challenge for each level.
You have to also have more of a strategy then.
Yes.
Because this obstacle, I need this weapon to do it with. I need this weapon to do with this obstacle.
Or you might need this weapon then to, okay, how do I beat the boss with this weapon?
Exactly.
What do I have to do with the boss to beat this weapon? And figuring it out while he's shooting missiles at you or spinning his crane at you, or you've got like flying discs coming at you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it hoping that it's a fun experience. Before we move on and do the Fast Break does their little OT edition. So if you're on YouTube, you'll get an extra segment from us about Overwatch's winter event. Any final thoughts on Mega Man 11?
No, I mean, it looks really good. The artistry I like. I like, again, sticking with the classic look and everything. If you get it, you want to play it, I'm happy to play with you.
I am totally going to get it. We're a year away from it almost.
Yeah.
'Cause it said late 2018, but I will get it. We'll probably play it on the Twitch channel or wherever we're streaming because, like I said, it's a year away. So I will definitely get it, and me and you could stream it and play
definitely.
it for all the fans. But if you're listening to us on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, or Stitcher, thank you guys for just sticking around, or TuneIn Radio. I keep forgetting we're on TuneIn now. Thank you guys for sticking around. If you're on YouTube, go check out all our other segments. Also, we'll have a special one out tomorrow about the Overwatch winter event. A little bit of housekeeping at the end. First off, patreon.com/most valuable podcast. You want to make sure to help the channel, help us do what we do for you guys. Make sure that Ricky's not an idiot and doesn't forget the SD disc at his house. That would really help. And for $10 a month, you could be on a Rick and Johnny podcast with both Rick and Johnny. Second off, we're selling MVP t-shirts. How do you do it? You email us your size, your address, and your name. We will send you a Square invoice. They are $22. That includes shipping. And then we will send you off an MVP t-shirt. And then finally, if you're on iTunes, have an iTunes account, give us that 5 stars if you would. Give us a great review. Rick and Johnny Podcast, The Onside Kick, The Primetime Podcast, and The Fast Break would mean the world to us. It would really, really help us out in the long run if you guys could do that. Then finally, thank you guys for listening this week to the Rick and Johnny Podcast, because yet again, Ricky's an idiot and forgot the SD card to the camera at home. I will not do that next week. You will see us again next week for both Johnny Karlic and myself, Ricky Widmer. We'll see you guys next time.